Morning, it's Leo Gilling, and I'm here to continue where we left off. Um, Today we're going to talk about the birds and the bees, yeah? Because I just left primary school. And the one thing about growing up, having both mom and dad in the house was cool. We knew a lot of kids who neither had mom nor dad, or they had grandmother or grandfather to take care of them, and they don't know their father, or they don't know their mother, that kind of thing, all of that stuff. And I feel really good to know that I had that growing up with mom and dad, right? Now, my dad wasn't always home, but he was there. He was always there. And when I say he's not always home, he's always out hustling. That is a hustler. My dad worked from job to job, and he gambled racehorse. I don't know any other type of gambling that he does. My mom told me, just before she died, that he drank, but I'd never seen him drink a beer. And he loved having liquor at home, as I do, but I'd never seen him drink any. But mom said he drank. But the one thing that became clear to me, after I became an adult, was that nobody really talked to me about the birds and the bees, right? And I think that is typical right throughout Jamaica. I mean, typical in the sense that a lot of homes are like that, where they don't call you over and sit down and talk to you about the birds and the bees. More than likely, I try to find a way of whoop your butt, boy, do this, boy, do that, boy, and I don't blame that on him. It's the era, it's the time. We can't compare 1950s and 1960s to 2020. There's no way you can do that. It's a different mentality. It's a different type of life, different types of expectations, different type of outlook in people's lives, and all of that stuff. So, my dad, I mentioned before, was not a lettered guy. He couldn't read, and my mom could help herself pretty good. And so birds and bees conversation was not something that was expected, that was even thought about, while I grew up. I never even knew about it. And so the first time that, I was about 12 going 13, and just before just as I woke up one morning, I woke up and this white stuff on my stomach. So what the hell is that? I went to bed by myself, and this white stuff is on my stomach. I didn't understand it, and I took it to a friend of mine, and I said, what's going on? And laugh at me. Oh my God, he laughed at me so hard, and he told me what it was, but I had no clue what it was. At 12, I grew up among kids that were always hounding after girls, even at age 10. There was a young lady in our class that already started breasted and everything, and man, you should see these young boys around them, around her, and so there was that that cognitive part of boy girl type thing, you know. But when it comes down to, you know, sperm, I had no clue. And so when that stuff showed up on my stomach that morning, and it's not that I did anything, it just was there. And I do recall in the back of my mind, really, I do recall a funny feeling in my sleep, but I didn't know what it was. And so, and I don't know what I was thinking about the night before either. But I think these things have a way of showing up at times when you're young. You have so much stuff going on inside of you, you know, it has to come out in some other way. And so, you know, I didn't have, my first girlfriend was about, I think it was 13 or 14, somewhere there, right? And boy, you know, was she a nice young lady, you know? And we remained friends over the years. But I had no clue what this stuff about birds and bees and flowers and trees was all about. And so I got sideswiped on that situation. But you know what I'd love to know, because it's since I became an adult that we start. You know, I've done a lot of learning about life and relationships and you know, the other person. A lot of learning. But what I'd love to see is our fathers, you know, at home, to take some time with our children, our sons, who are, you know, the ones who are going to shape other person's lives at times, you know, and they have to understand early. It don't make any sense that we hide things. There are certain things that we can talk about easily, and they will understand. And so sometimes by the time you learn, it's, you know, you already made mistakes that could have been prevented from day one. And so, you know, I'm happy that I actually found out that from my friend what the hell sperm is all about. And so, dads, I'd love to see you sit down with your son and talk about them birds there and them bees there, and you know, don't be afraid to talk to your daughter about it too, because it's important. As I said, by the time you learn that you need to talk to your daughter and your son about these things, it's sometimes too late, and the horse gone through the gate, and you not all that you can do about it. You know, mistakes that can be prevented should be. So I never got the chance of listening to somebody say, "Hey Leo, so and so and so and so and so and so and so." Most of my life with my dad was about, you know, beating. I remember I was sweeping the yard one day, you know, but I was using the coconut broom, you know, pow, 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 pow. And he saw me and he stopped me and said, "Brethren, him give me some beating with that broomstick, you know, that same, not broomstick, but the coconut broom." And you know, so the coconut broom have like spring, a lot of different pieces on it, and all of that's coming on my butt, you know what I mean? So you know, so my dad didn't talk a lot. He just came, did what he needed to do in the house, and then he leaves, you know. But we get a chance to spend time knowing that he's there, afraid as hell, scared as hell, but at least we knew that he was there, and we knew, you know, there was a certain level of comfort of knowing that that is there. And mom is always there, no doubt, yeah. But when dad come home, it was just a special moment, and so that should have been the time that he took and listen. Don't get me wrong, my dad, I love my dad down to the earth. great daddy, took care of family and stuff. But I didn't know all of these things until I became aware of some of the responsibilities that we shall and can and should take on as parents as we grow our kids, you know. And so I'd love for our dads these days to spend some time with our daughters and especially with our sons and teach them, you know, birds and bees conversation is very, very important. So have it and don't be afraid. All right. This is Leo. You can find these videos on YouTube and Leo Gilling, Leogilling, one word, or you can search Leo Gilling, Leo, space, Leo Gilling, and find them. There are a lot of them on there, and if there's something to learn from it, please, I don't mind sharing. All right. Have a nice day. Bye bye.